Good morning, and welcome to the 5th Annual Hispanic Heritage Council Community Breakfast. My name is Samantha Martinez, and I am one of 12 directors of the Hispanic Heritage Council of Western New York. First, I would like to acknowledge our signature sponsors: United Healthcare, Healthcare Education Project, Fallon Health Weinberg. On behalf of the Board of Directors, we would like to sincerely thank you for your support. At this moment, I'd like to ask my wonderful colleagues and directors to stand. This dedicated and hardworking and focused team, thank you so much for your amazing collaboration throughout the year. I am so proud to be part of this dynamic group. It has been a pleasure to work with each and every one of you. Can I please have a round of applause for these dynamic people? Once desolate, now Buffalo City Center is booming. From a buzzing west side to a rebirth of our waterfront, Buffalo is on the cusp of something big, and Buffalo Hispanics are at the forefront. Hispanics in Buffalo's Renaissance, working together to secure our place in the future of our city. Hispanics have helped shape this area as far back as the 1800s. Our leaders, our culture, our language, and our diversity tell the story of an incredible progress we've made as a community. The Hispanic Heritage Council strives to bring awareness and understanding of the Hispanic community in Western New York. It is our mission to inspire appreciation of the past, present, and future of contributions of Hispanics, preserving our history for future generations. If I could have you all please stand. We will have the Pledge of Allegiance and National Anthem. We will be led by Gloria Baunda, a sophomore at Lafayette International High School and student member of Nuestra Historia Latino History Group.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars at the perilous fight, all the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red clay, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does the star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Beautiful job, Gloria. Thank you. We will now be led in prayer by Reverend David Rivera, pastor of Hope and Restoration Ministry and major leader, Buffalo Common Council.
Thank you very much. Let's bow our heads and close our eyes. God of all creation, we come before you to honor and praise you. You are worthy of praise. We thank you for the astonishing variety of races and cultures in the world. Enrich our lives by ever-widening circles of friendship and show us your presence in those who differ most from us, until the knowledge of your love is made perfect in our love for all your children. Through your Son's name, and God's people say, thank you.
Good morning, everyone. It's certainly a pleasure to be here with all of you this morning. I want to just recognize the great work of the Hispanic Heritage Council. I want to recognize the great president of the Hispanic Heritage Council, Kaz Rodriguez, and all of the members of the board. Let's give them a great big round of applause. And I am thrilled to welcome back to Buffalo your keynote speaker for today, and a dynamic woman that has made a significant contribution to our community, Sarah Norat-Phillips. Let's give her a great big round of applause. You know, the theme of the breakfast this morning is so incredibly appropriate and fitting, talking about the renaissance that's taking place in the city of Buffalo and the tremendous contribution of the Hispanic community to that renaissance. I am certainly very pleased that my administration has been able to partner and work very closely with the Hispanic Heritage Council. Of course, we have worked closely on all of the things that we have done throughout the city with our city council. Very pleased to see my colleague in government, Niagara District Council member and Majority Leader David Rivera. Let's give him a great big round of applause. And as you all know, there is a major Niagara Corridor project going down Niagara Street where more than $28 million in government resources are being spent that is being managed by the city of Buffalo. The Hispanic Heritage Council has been our strong partner in that project. Members of the community have been very involved in that project, and Councilmember Rivera and I have been able to work very closely with the Hispanic Heritage Council and the community on that project. There is a very exciting art project that has been recommended by the Hispanic Heritage Council. I'm not going to steal their thunder by talking about it, but you'll hear a little bit more about it in the program. We have also worked very closely with the leadership in the Hispanic community on a number of major projects that have taken place on the west side of Buffalo, whether it is LaSalle Park, whether it is Centennial Pool, whether it is the skate park in LaSalle Park, or the Broderick Park developments, all totaling over $22 million of additional spending. We certainly thank the Hispanic Heritage Council and the Hispanic community for their partnership on those projects. I have been given 3 minutes, so I am going to conclude in just one moment. But I also want to say how proud my administration is for the work that we have been able to do to recruit members of the Hispanic community to work in city government. And I'm very proud to say that now we have the most Hispanic community members working in city government than ever in the history of the city of Buffalo. So yes, Buffalo is going through a tremendous renaissance. Our focus is on building a city of opportunity for all people, where no one is left out, where no one is left behind, where the progress that we're seeing touches every section of our city, and the Hispanic community has been a major partner in all of the work that we're doing. Thank you all very much, and God bless you.
Thank you, Mayor, for those wonderful 3 minutes. Now, as we enjoy our breakfast, how's the breakfast? It's good? As we enjoy our breakfast, let's take a look at what the Hispanic Heritage Council of Western New York has been working on in 2017. Last year, the Hispanic Heritage Council of Western New York launched the Hispanic History Project. And in 2017, we're taking on even bigger projects. bringing new life to Niagara Street. But this is just one of the many ventures the organization is bringing to our community. Collaboration, education, awareness, and a focus set on the future are just a few core values of the Hispanic Heritage Council of Western New York. The organization strives to celebrate Hispanic culture and contributions to Western New York and across America. Headquartered in the heart of downtown Buffalo and the Central Library, a team of dedicated board members meet on how to make the local Hispanic community even better.
We have just celebrated our first year with our offices located at the Buffalo Central Library, where they opened the doors for us so that we can be able to operate out of the Central Library and more effectively meet our mission for community.
The Hispanic Heritage Council is a collaborating partner in pushing education forward in our Buffalo schools, recently traveling to Puerto Rico to aid in recruitment for bilingual Buffalo public school teachers.
At Lafayette High School, they have a lot of really fantastic and interesting projects going on, and one of them was a history project that was spearheaded by the Teaching and Learning Department and the Multilingual Department to help students learn about their language and culture.
Lafayette High School Principal John Starkey says the organization provides support for students, especially with newly arrived English language learners.
And I think what makes Hispanic Heritage Council even more powerful than many other organizations is that so many members of Hispanic Heritage Council have come from the community themselves. And so when students that are Latino themselves or students from other nationalities see that there are people that also had to learn English or whose parents had to learn English, had to learn a new culture, and now they're professionals and they're here and they're taking their time and volunteering their time to listen to the students' work, to ask them questions, to give them positive feedback, to give them constructive feedback. It means a lot to the students because it gives them hope that they too can make it to that point in their lives.
In collaboration with the Small Business Administration and the Bell Center, SCORE brings vital small businesses information and services to young entrepreneurs every quarter.
I've been trying for years to break into the Hispanic Business Council, and the heritage has been so great. We're thankful for that ability to give us that door into the Hispanic small business community. And we want them to know that this office, Small Business Administration Buffalo, New York, is there to help.
The Hispanic Heritage District Rehabilitation Project on Avenida San Juan will bring stunning displays of history, heritage, and cultural information to visitors and the residents of Buffalo. This whimsical signage will be the entry to the corridor.
The Olsen one especially was conquered in the 1800s and by the Spaniards. And the Spaniards brought with them the Spanish architecture. Most of my designs and most of my art pieces have scrolls in some kind of way or circles. And especially in this design, the scrolls and circles resemble the waves that are constantly hitting the fortress in Old San Juan.
Carritas del Moro, light pole banners, wayfinding signs, and our beloved Buffalo statues are just some of the new amenities to the area.
The street improvements and the interpretive signage that we're doing with it can play a very strong anchor to give the residents a sense of place, a sense of home. This project can act as a true catalyst for the neighborhood.
We've been really lucky to have an opportunity to work with the Albright Knox Art Gallery and also with Rich Products to invite a muralist, actually a really quite famous muralist from Philadelphia. Her name is Betsy Casanas, and she'll be coming over to Buffalo to work on this mural that will sit right in the heart of the Niagara corridor. And we're really excited about our school children that live in the area, help with the creation of the mural. Betsy will work with our students and create this incredible mural that hopefully depicts everything that's really amazing about the Hispanic Heritage District in Buffalo.
You know, we're very proud of our community, and we want to share with our neighbors and the entire city of Buffalo and all those folks that cross the bridge from Canada to the U.S. on their way to downtown, on the way to see a game, on the way to Canal Side. they can stop and read about our history and learn about, how Hispanics contributed to the growth and the economics of the city of Buffalo.
Values, diversity, and embracing many cultures enriches our community. It gives our schools and our workforce energy. Collaborating across cultures is a vital skill in today's business environment, and that's why it's a priority for the Hispanic Heritage Council of Western New York. You can't help but dance to this, right? As you can see, we've been very busy, and we are so excited to bring all these wonderful additions to our community. Now, I want to thank my collaborating partner in this, Mark Odian. Thank you so much for your collaboration. I had a great time working with you. Didn't you do a great job? We now have a proclamation from Senator Tim Kennedy.
Good morning, buenos dias. I could start speaking in Spanish, but I'd do nothing but embarrass myself. You all know that now, right? How about a wonderful round of applause for our MC this morning, Samantha Martinez. She's doing a wonderful job. And I have got to tell you, this is quite a sight to see. So many hundreds of people here today to celebrate the wonderful work of the Hispanic Heritage Council. How about a round of applause to all of the organizers for today's event? Congratulations. I would just like to bring up Kaz Rodriguez, the head of the Hispanic Heritage Council, as I honor on behalf of myself and the New York State Senate, the Hispanic Heritage Council that does so much, as you just saw in that wonderful video presentation, all of the tremendous work the council does to preserve the culture and the fabric of our community and to recognize all of the contributions that the Hispanic community has brought not only to our community, but to this great state and to this great nation. It is a wonderful thing to know that the Hispanic Heritage Council is out there driving an agenda forward in the best interest of all Western New Yorkers. And with that, on behalf of myself and the New York State Senate, I congratulate and commemorate the Hispanic Heritage Council on all of the tremendous work that they do each and every day for our community. Congratulations.
Thank you again, Senator Kennedy. Millions of people come to our great city each year, visiting Canal Side, Larkin Square, and now they can take pictures at the Hispanic Heritage District, or Avenida San Juan. Located in the heart of Buffalo's Hispanic community, a gateway to our Queen City and the United States. The $16.3 million Rejuvenation Project is a collaboration of the Hispanic Heritage Council of Western New York, Mayor Byron Brown and Congressman Brian Higgins, City of Buffalo Council President Darius Pridgeon, Council Member David Rivera, the NFTA, and Council Member David Francic. The Hispanic Heritage Council would like to thank all that have contributed to this project. Your time and support is invaluable. The Hispanic Heritage Council has put a budget of approximately $200,000, and we have raised $175,000. Took a lot of hard work. Through corporate businesses, government and private donations, to include Hispanic history, art, and culture in the streetscapes of our corridor. Each year, the Hispanic Heritage Council brings free, family-friendly activities, including El Día del Niño in April, and a month-long celebration of Hispanic heritage throughout the month that celebrates heritage, history, and culture that runs through September 15th to October 15th. You are all cordially invited to the Hispanic Heritage Month official kickoff ceremony at the Buffalo and Erie County Public Library on Friday, September 15th at 12 o'clock. All the work we do, the events, the activities, the programming throughout the year will be impossible if not for the support of the county, city, and financial partners. The Hispanic Heritage Council of Western New York is proud to announce that now we are accepting applications for the Ralph R. Hernandez Bilingual Education Scholarship Fund. The scholarship will be awarded to a Western New York student enrolled in a college or university program, leading to a certification as a teacher in any grade or subject, with preference leading to those pursuing a bilingual education degree. Applications must be submitted by midnight, July 30th of 2017. You can find more information in your booklet, or you can head to our website to apply at HispanicHeritageWesternNewYork.org. The Hispanic Heritage Council was also recently elected of 2017 to be the recipient of the Daniel B. Niederleader Award. Since 1975, the Buffalo History Museum has presented this award to local heritage organizations for outstanding programming. We are honored and thrilled to receive this support and this achievement by the museum. Please take a moment to visit our display. Find all the way in the back there to the far right the display of the Hispanic Heritage Project in collaboration with the Buffalo and Erie County Public Library and History Museum. We're also donated works of local artists that will be auctioned and raffled at the end of the program. When you sign up for the raffle, please take note that at the end of the sheet on the top right corner are the base bid for each art project. We also will be taking all forms of payment, and we can also deliver this to your home if need be. The donated artists are Arlene Gonzalez Marti, Michelle Agosto, as Art Butler, Will Rodriguez, and William Rios. All of their art pieces have been donated. Please support the Hispanic Heritage Council of Western New York. All the work that we do would be impossible without your continued and impassioned support. Thank you again to our signature sponsors: United Healthcare, Healthcare Education Project, Fallen Health Weinberg. Thank you for all that you do, and of course to our table sponsors. I'd also like to acknowledge the Puerto Rican and Hispanic Day Parade of Western New York. We have our president, Yolanda Martinez Ramirez. I'm sorry, Rodriguez. Yolanda Martinez Rodriguez. And our 2016 Miss Borinquen, Merced de Jesus. And our 2016 Junior Grand Marshal, Lucas Olivera. Round of applause, please. I'd also like to thank Judge Doreen Trippi, and also our Board of Education, Dr. Barbara Nevergold, Ms. Sharon M. Belton-Cotman, and Dr. Teresa Harris-Tig. Round of applause, please. On behalf of the Hispanic Heritage Council of Western New York, we would like to announce the Friends of Hispanic Heritage Award. This award is given to organizations or individuals who, through words and actions, exemplify and support the mission of the Hispanic Heritage Council to foster awareness and understanding and appreciation of the past, present, and future contributions of Hispanics in our community. The recipient of this award continues to significantly enrich our culture here in Buffalo. I'd like to invite Dr. Tamara Asalce to the podium to announce our fourth award.
So happy to be here to see all of you again at our community breakfast. It's another beautiful day in Buffalo. And I'm very happy to be here today to present the Friend of Hispanic Heritage Awards for this year. This award is given to an organization or individual who embody the mission of the Hispanic Heritage Council, which is to preserve the contributions of Hispanics for future generations and who contribute greatly to the rich cultural fabric of our community. And so the first recipient today is the Puerto Rican and Hispanic Day Parade Association of Western New York, which has been around since 2003 and will be celebrating its 15th anniversary this year. And isn't that wonderful? We have one of the founding members of that committee from back in 2003, Miguel Santos, here, and other members of the founding committee. And the Puerto Rican and Hispanic Day Parade is more than just a parade committee. It's about being represented with a flag raising at City Hall each year, which is a remarkable thing for our community. It's about a leadership program that began a few years after the initial founding of the committee. They began the Miss Borinquen of Western New York leadership pageant for young ladies, preparing the future leaders. And many of those ladies that started out in the Miss Borinquen pageant are now taking over the leadership of the committee itself and being involved in our community in so many ways. And then a few years ago, they decided to add in the Grand Marshal program, which helps to prepare our young Latino men for future leadership in our community. So because of all of those things and so much more, their presence throughout the year, not just at the parade time, but throughout the year in our community, we want to recognize and thank the Puerto Rican and Hispanic Day Parade Association. And I'd like to welcome to the podium Yolanda Martinez Rodriguez, the president, to accept the award. The Friend of Hispanic Heritage Award, honoring the Puerto Rican and Hispanic Day Parade of Western New York Incorporated, and its president, Yolanda Martinez Rodriguez, for your dedication and outstanding contributions to our strong Hispanic cultural heritage in the Western New York community. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I want to thank the Hispanic and Heritage Council for this. We're really, truly honored. Thank you.
Did you want to introduce? Can we have the members of the committee stand up, please? Because I know that there are several representatives here from the Puerto Rican and Hispanic Day Parade Committee, and thank you. And the second award is particularly moving for me, considering that I've known the co-founder and artistic director of the Raíces Theater Company since she was 10 years old and a student at the school where I taught. She wasn't actually my student, but I feel like she was because our bilingual program was a small community within the school. And so I've known Victoria Perez Maggiolo since she was 10 years old and watched her grow into this incredible, dynamic powerhouse of a woman who is so talented and sharing her talents with us in the Western New York community through co-founding the Raíces Theater Company, the only Latino theater company in Western New York. Can we have a round of applause for that? That's really fantastic. And so the Raíces Theater Company has been growing and expanding. They have an ensemble, and we're going to be blessed with a sampling of that a little bit later in the program today. So you're in for a treat in a little while with that, but in the meantime, I'd like to welcome to the podium Victoria Perez Maggiolo, the artistic director and co-founder of Raíces Theater Company.
She told me when I was 10 years old. That was only 5 years ago. Thank you so much to the Hispanic Heritage Council for this honor. I am the co-founder of Raíces, so I wouldn't be able to do it without our wonderful ensemble of 12 actors and artists, and without our co-founder, Rolando Martín Gómez. So I wanted to share this award with our whole ensemble. Thank you so much. I just want to say that we take it as our responsibility and as our mission to continue to tell our stories so that our people can see themselves on stage and see the strength of being Latino. Thank you.
Thank you, Rolando. Thank you very much. Let's have one more round of applause for both of our awardees.
If I said anything wrong. So how was breakfast? Delicious, right? Okay, I would now like to invite Casimiro Rodriguez to the stage. He has a message.
Good morning, everyone. Isn't it a great day in Buffalo, New York? I'd like to thank every one of you for taking out of your busy schedules on a Saturday, a day that we enjoy with family and friends and so forth, but you're here to support our community. Thank you very much. I'd like to call your attention to a special video.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us for our annual Hispanic Community Breakfast. Thank you for your support and your commitment. My name is Santos. I am a board director for the Hispanic Community Breakfast, and I'm saying hi from Albany. Sorry I couldn't make it there today. This is actually my last year serving on the board, and I would like to say thank you to the Hispanic Heritage Council. They were so supportive of me and believed in my contributions and my skills that I brought to the board. Thank you for Casimiro for your great mentorship and your great leadership. Being part of this board meant a lot to me. I learned a lot about my heritage and my culture and about my community as well. I'm really blessed that I've been able to give back the way that Hispanic Heritage Council allowed me to give back to my community. Thank you to my mother, Denora, as well, for your support. Always been my #1 fan. You've always found a way to be there to support me, and I really appreciate that. This may be my last year as a board director. I will definitely be back, volunteering, of course, and contributing in any way that I can. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your support, and enjoy your breakfast.
You know, Dinora and Santos, like every board member, every director of our organization, which is a volunteer position, they bring a wealth of experience and knowledge to this board. And it's the only way that we're able to due diligence for our community. So I had asked Denora the other day when I spoke to her on the telephone, I said, are you gonna be at the breakfast? She said, Kaz, I can't make it. I said, well, you're gonna be at the breakfast. You're gonna record a video and we're gonna show it. So give her a round of applause. You know, our board of directors, they're term limits. And at the end of their term limits, they can re-up or they can go their separate ways. But, you know, they're pretty much stay close with our organization, and we appreciate all their hard work. But this year, we got a new board member coming in. Her name is Erica Leon Torres. And I'd like to welcome her to the podium because when we induct a new director, we give them their name tag, we give them their pin, and I'm sure our secretary, Dr. Tamara Sase, will make sure that she gets the bylaws, the conflict of interest policy, and all those important documents that she's going to need to be able to effectively perform as a director. So I'd like to call up Erica Leon Torres. Erica, I'd like to welcome you to the Board of Directors of the Hispanic Heritage Council. You bring a lot of value, a lot of expertise. She works for Roswell Cancer Institute, and I'd like to welcome you to our board.
Thank you.
Thank
I'm
you very
honored.
much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I think the next order of business is our keynote speaker. Let me say a few words about our keynote speaker. Her bio is in the program. But one of the things that we've been able to do, and it's one of the objectives of our organization, when we invite a keynote speaker, we try to pull those folks that have made a significant impact in our community when they were here in Buffalo. They go on their merry ways, but they stay connected to the city. And we try to invite folks that fit that type of description. And when we were talking over with our board, our executive board, regarding our keynote speaker for this year, she came up number one on the list. She does not need any introduction because, like I said, her bio is in the program, but she was very instrumental in bringing 3 organizations together to what today is known as Hispanos Unidos de Buffalo. Last night when I was having dinner with her, we were talking about those days. And she really brought me up to date on how all that happened and who were the key players that had a lot to do with that. So with that, I'd like to introduce to you Sarah Norat-Phillips.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to read this without my reader's, age, but I'm going to try. Yeah, give it to me. Thank you. Good morning. Buenos dias. Thank you, Cass. I'd like to welcome our distinguished guests. Hey, I can do it without the glasses. Friends, family, supportive community, what an honor it is to be here this morning. I was sincerely touched when Casimiro reached out to me about speaking at this breakfast. It's been so long since I was truly active in Buffalo's Latino community. It humbled me to know that I would even be remembered after almost 20 years away working and living in Michigan. And it feels great to be here, to be home, to be back as part of a community that I love. So gracias to Cass, gracias to the Hispanic, Heritage Council. Thank you for all the tremendous work that you are doing. The Niagara Corridor project is outstanding. The archival work that you're doing is so important. I really appreciate and know that the history of the community is in very, very good hands, so thank you for that. Of course, over the years, I've come back many times to visit with friends and family. My daughter's father is Norat-Phillips. Many of you know him, a native Buffalonian who still serves as part of the Buffalo Police Force. My dearest friend and sister, Lorna C. Hill, who joined me here today, still lives here after 38 years, still serves as the artistic visionary for Ujima Theater Company, and she remains a critical community voice. Lorna and I raised our children together like siblings, regardless of time or distance, because that's what family does. It gathers, and it nurtures, and it helps us to lift each other. For me, family is the only institution that has never failed me. It has remained my rock steady, even when there were turbulent times. Familia. I was born to Puerto Rican parents and raised in the largely African-American Fort Greene projects of Brooklyn. I was nurtured by both communities and Much is owed for all the ways that they guided me in my life. Now, back then, for any of you who go back and forth from New York, Brooklyn, downtown Brooklyn, was not the Mecca that it is today of new development and affluence and gentrification. And when I go to visit Brooklyn now, I can barely recognize the very places that I grew up in. That's a different speech for a different time, but it has relevance today. I have two older sisters, both of whom I'm very proud to say are very accomplished women. My oldest sister started as an ESL teacher. Eventually, she acquired her PhD in education and just recently retired as a principal from an elementary school in New York City. No easy task, not an easy job. My middle sister is the head of the talent acquisition and human resources for one of the largest healthcare systems in New York State. So why do I tell you these details about my siblings? Well, mostly because we weren't special. When I was born, we didn't have anything special. My father bagged groceries at the local vegetable market. My mother was a seamstress at the garment factory. They were just poor working folks, but my parents worked hard and they believed in us. They were people of strong faith and of stronger conviction. They taught us by their example about the importance of family, of education, of faith, of community. Most of my friends never made it out of those projects, never made it out of that cycle of poverty, an experience that may not be too different from many of you sitting in this room today. But we did make it out. We did break the cycle, and I've always chosen to believe it was for a reason, that it was for a greater good, a purpose. And so I think about purpose a lot, and what does that mean? What does it mean to have a purpose? The Maharishi Yogi described the purpose of life as the expansion of happiness. Pablo Picasso said the meaning of life is to find your purpose, and then the purpose of life is to give it away. I believe that the purpose of my life so far has not been just to find personal happiness and individual success, but also to be creative, productive, and useful, to make a difference in the world, to leave the places where I have lived and where my life's journey has taken me better because I had been there, because I had helped to create a better community. These are lessons I learned as a child, lessons I was taught by my parents, the lessons I hope I've passed on to my daughter Carmen, who's also with me today, and some of you in the room remember her as a toddler with ponytails. She's completing her PhD at NYU this year. And so I hope that I've also passed those kinds of lessons on to the many other young people that I've worked with or spoken to or touched along the way. I am ever grateful to Buffalo's Latino community, a community that held me up during the most formative young adult years, a community that afforded me the opportunity to develop my own leadership potential, a community that in 1977 opened its arms and its homes to a brash New York City outsider with a bit of a chip on her shoulder. To Ana Cotón, Doña Irene, who brought me arroz con gandules con pollo guisado to Buffalo State because esa pobrecita está viviendo solita out there with the gringos at Buffalo State. She clearly was in need of a home-cooked meal. Those two early giants, and I mean giants of this community, showed me that by those simple acts of kindness, we all are part of the same community. We really are responsible for one another. To Jose Pizarro, Alberto Capas, Rudy Santos, Susie Gonzalez, Mike Rivera, who allowed a young, inexperienced college student to join their efforts in community building, at what was then PRCC, the Puerto Rican Chicano Committee. To Carlos Mendoza and Emilio Fuentes and the now defunct Hispanic Media Group for their unwavering support of my personal goal to become a part of the broadcasting industry, for creating Pueblo Buffalo, a weekly public affairs show dedicated to the issues, the concerns, the celebrations of Buffalo's Latino community at WKBW-TV. To Raul Rusi and Andy Garcia, Paul Volsi, Chito Olivencia, Johnny Sanabria, and all of us who met every week for almost a year, negotiating, building trust, ultimately hammering out the agreement that would result in the creation of HUB, Hispanos Unidos of Buffalo, a broad-spectrum Hispanic-driven community service institution that still exists today, more than 20 years later, advocating for and meeting the needs of those community members who still remain the most vulnerable. And finally, to La Liga, mis queridas hermanas of the Hispanic Women's League. And those original meetings huddled in the living room of Carmen Facio's house. To Margarita Santiago, Dr. Mendel, Sonia Davila, Carmen Melendez, Lilian Fuentes, Carmen del Valle, Maria Rosa, all those other women who recognized that in a culture that is filled to the brim with machismo, our voice, a woman's voice, needed to be heard, needed to be included, needed to be recognized, and not just in the kitchen or in the bedroom, but in the boardroom. The years have passed. The city of Buffalo has had its fair share of very well-documented ups and downs, and so, of course, has Buffalo's Latino community. And this community now finds itself at a crossroads, inside of a city that is actively reinventing itself. The challenge, of course, is taking advantage of new opportunities as they arise, if they arise. The challenge is in having the resources, the leadership, the focus, the tenacity to participate in Buffalo's reinvention. And more importantly, having the courage to demand access, to demand egress into that participation if it is not offered. My friends, we are living in a time when frontline communities have never been more at risk. The threat is unprecedented and very real. It is indeed a very dangerous juncture in the history of our nation. We see and hear the headlines every day about a current federal government that is actively and aggressively attempting to dismantle or defund the very health, human, environment, education, and economic development services that this community and every poor, working class, and middle class community in America needs if we're going to continue making progress. They are trying literally to turn back the hands of time. And we, collectively, simply cannot allow that to happen. We need to defend our principles and our values. We need to defend our civil rights and our human rights. Because I believe that if we don't, if we stand by and we do nothing, then this community and this state and this country, maybe even this world, will get swallowed up by the chaos that is coming. Martin Luther King once said, if I cannot do great things, I can still do small things in a great way. And so today I ask, what are you doing? What are you doing to make a difference? There are so many things that each of us can do, both big and small things, to make a difference. Coming here today makes a difference. Supporting the work of the council makes a difference. Participating in your community when they need you makes a difference. Each of us has the responsibility to find our own way, our own talent, our own path, no matter how small, and then contribute to the preservation of the greater good. And then each of us has to make up our minds to make a commitment and get on that path today. Because this time, mis amigos, my friends, this time silence is not an option. So let's talk a little bit about Buffalo. Wow. Talk about reinvention. When I left this city, it was just a shell of its former self. The collapse of the automotive and steel industries had devastated the area. Unemployment was at record high levels. Schools were experiencing a debilitating budget crisis. Local government was in disarray. The impact of the very depressed economy visibly affected every neighborhood. Even the bulletproof Elmwood Business District showed signs of struggle. And as I recall, when I left, it looked like there was some hope peeking through on the horizon. There was this concept floating around about building a medical corridor. There were some conversations about what are we going to do with the waterfront? We really need to do something about the waterfront. Financial institutions looked like they were trying to come back to health, and there were new, untested voices getting elected to serve in local government. It started to feel like maybe the worst of it was over, and in many ways it was. You can't see pictures of Buffalo's waterfront and downtown districts from 20 years ago versus today and not marvel at the absolutely incredible transformations that have undergone. Clear evidence of reinvestment, redevelopment, new construction, successful business all around. The internationally recognized medical corridor is a reality. The Elmwood and the Delaware districts are thriving again. And as an outsider, it appears to me that even some of the smaller neighborhoods are finally reaping the benefits of these development efforts. Business development up along the riverside, Grant Street, Niagara Street, those have stood out to me because those are the neighborhoods that I tend to frequent when I would come back and visit and make visits to the city. Of course, I am going to say one thing that concerned me and became a national discussion, and that really is the problem that Buffalo still has concerning the future of public education. Most notably, an embarrassing leadership problem at the school board level, something, in my opinion, that really needs to be corrected, and the sooner the better. However, I digress. I've lived in the Detroit, Michigan area since leaving Buffalo. It too was a city that many left for dead following the collapse of the American automotive industry. And I've watched Detroit return to life, slowly but steadily over the years, using many of the same community wealth building tactics, tools, and processes that I'm glad to see are available here in Buffalo. Collaborations, cooperatives, collectives. Community-based economic development projects, community-based economic development projects are the means through which high-risk and economically depressed communities are successfully reinventing themselves all across this country. And in my opinion, it is the only way that Buffalo's Latino community will survive and thrive into the new millennium. And in order for this to happen, Latino community leadership must make the effort and the commitment to ensure that the community always has a place at the table when these projects are being discussed and designed and developed, because if we don't have a place at the table, we will not eat from the table. That's just how it works. The best explanation I have heard for this process that I call community economic development is as follows. It's the use of local resources to enhance economic opportunities while improving social conditions in a sustainable way. Community economic development is very different from private sector economic development and conventional economic development, because at its core, community economic development recognizes that the problems facing disadvantaged communities, like poverty and unemployment, job loss, must be addressed holistically as part of the solution. You can't have one without the other. In other words, community economic development is about transforming the lives of people, not just transforming the economy. And that is why these projects have been successful in cities of sizes all around the country. A couple of quick examples. One, right down the road, Ibero-American Development Corporation in Rochester. They've started a program that purchases, renovates, and then manages buildings and affordable housing units. Their latest project is a 25-unit apartment building for low-income people with disabilities. This corporation is affiliated with the Ibero-American Action League, which many of you, of course, know, as a broad human rights service agency that also offers entrepreneurial assistance to community members who want to start their own businesses. Then there's City Seed, which is in New Haven, Connecticut, also a community with 33% Latino population. And City Seed operates 5 inner-city farmers markets, including a mobile market that delivers fresh produce to the disabled and to senior citizens, and offers a double SNAP coupon to help stretch dollars for those who are on limited incomes. Recently, City Seed also opened up a commercial kitchen space designed to help incubate small food businesses, and they're offering hands-on food education programs. One last example I'm a little more familiar with is You Snap Back, which is in Detroit, which is where I live. Stands for United Streets Networking and Planning, Building a Community. This community economic development project is actually a consortium of 7 community-based organizations and 4 business associations. And the consortium has a housing subsidiary which operates a neighborhood home repair program. They have helped to develop 100 block clubs, organize educational forums and neighborhood cleanups. They have rehabilitated over 500 homes, and they have built 130 new and affordable homes in communities that have been neglected. And like these 3 projects, there are many, scores, all over the country. Buffalo is actually fortunate. It has several community economic development projects already in place, some of which are just beginning to have a measurable impact on their communities, and others which have been around for some time. A couple of those highly regarded newer programs are Reuse on the east side, which is tackling the task of demolishing abandoned properties. How many of you know that we have a few abandoned properties in the city of Buffalo? But they're attempting to do it in an environmentally safe way, and then recycling those materials, and then engaging the community that lives around that property on a positive, productive way to use the now vacant land, like a community garden. And then there's Push Buffalo. I was very glad to hear that they actually had a table here today. Stands for People United for Sustainable Housing. They are doing some very exciting and commendable work over on Buffalo's west side. First, with the purchase and the renovation of school, I believe it's 77. The development of programs dedicated to the creation of green jobs, green housing alternatives, community organizing, youth community services. If this community, if we, as Latinos, are not actively engaging in these kinds of collaborations and efforts to build a more sustainable, environmentally conscious, forward-thinking community, then we're going to miss the boat. I really encourage you to take some time, just walk around, look around at what is happening in these once forgotten neighborhoods that we still refer to as ours for now. The times, they are a-changing. And as a community, we collectively need to recognize and find the hidden value in our community that others are discovering every day, and then we have to restake our claim in the reinvention of Buffalo. Or in time, it's going to be possible that we're going to look up, and we have been moved out, and the community that we love is lost to us forever. Collaborations, cooperatives, collectives, they are our future. I urge you to figure out how to get involved in these ongoing efforts so that Buffalo's Latino community leaves that legacy of sustainability and economic and environmental health to our children and to their children for many years to come. I'm going to close my comments today with a short story that Kaz told me I had to tell. It remains as relevant today as it did when I lived through this process almost 30 years ago. It was a very difficult time in Buffalo. Steel and automotive industries had gone bust. Public money to support small community-based organizations was drying up fast. We had no voice, no representation in local government, and the late 70s and early 80s drug culture had really taken its toll on the Latino community. At the time, there were several community-based organizations serving that community, each one fighting for their share of the same dwindling pot of money. The three most prominent organizations at the time were PRCC, PRACA, and La Alternativa. And eventually it became apparent that the only way the community was going to get what it needed was for those three independent organizations to deconstruct themselves, shutter their doors, and merge into a single community-based organization. And this act would finally leverage the respect, the funding, and the political influence that was long overdue and very much needed in order to truly deliver new and improved services to the community. And so, for almost a year, maybe it was more, Johnny, a committee with representatives of each of those organizations met weekly to hammer out the structure and the policies of the newly merged organization that is now Hispanos Unidos de Buffalo. And let me tell you, those were not easy meetings. There were a lot of egos involved. There was a lot of history involved. There was a lot of turf protection going on. But through it all, eventually the desire to deliver true community service won over, and Hub was created. And congratulations, Gino. I hear you're doing a terrific job. Several of the architects of that merger, of those meetings, is here today, and I'd ask that they stand up and be recognized for their courage and for their leadership. Johnny, Chito, Jose, I saw you here. Who else? I mentioned more. What we did back then was no small task. And I share with you this story on this occasion because that is what it still takes. It takes vision. It takes courage. It takes commitment, leadership, the willingness to collaborate collectively for the greater good. That's how communities survive, and that's how the Latino community will secure its place in the future of this great city. I want to thank you for inviting me to be your keynote speaker this morning. It has been both an honor and a pleasure.
can have a seat. Sara, there's a lot of history in our community, and last night at dinner we were talking a lot about it. And that's what the primary objective of our organization is to preserve that history and make sure that the history is correct. And as a token of appreciation, we'd like to present you this buffalo. And it says, with our appreciation and admiration of your dedication to the Western New York community, Sarah Norat-Phillips, keynote speaker, community breakfast today's date, on behalf of the Hispanic Heritage Council and the entire Latino community and all those here present, I'd like to present this to you. Thank you very much. And we'll go on with the programs.
Everybody having fun? I want to make a few more acknowledgments. M&T Bank Vice President Michael Tadaro and Ola Resource Group, Paulette Woods, Buffalo Schools Board of Education, Juan Texidor, founding father of Hispanic Radio, Ibero CEO President Hilda Eschker, Mirna Garcia, Vice President of Inroads Incorporated. Now, who's been up to the auction? Just curious. Well, I just want to let everybody know that the artists participating and donating their works of art, these are some renowned artists, some of them valued at $3,000. And today they're starting bidding just at $100. So if you could please make your way, take a moment, and put in a bid for one of the pieces. Thank you. Okay, so we're gonna have a presentation. The Raíces Theater Company, Western New York's only Latino theater. As a member of Hispanic Heritage Council, I'm extremely proud of this organization that represents Latino culture in such a beautiful and inspiring way. This theatrical interlude highlights that Hispanic arts has a prominent place in the Renaissance of Buffalo. And now a one-act play by Alejandro Gomez and performed by Marta Arcelis and Alejandro Gomez. Pa que tú lo sepas.
This was one of the one-act plays that we just did in our one-act play festival called Desde el Puente. All of those 10 plays were written, directed, and performed by our ensemble members. You have three of our ensemble members here. Marta is an actress in this one. Alejandro wrote it and will act in this one. And Fernando directed it. It is called Pa que tú lo sepas, and we think it completely defines our work and the work that we're all doing for our community this morning here. So it is an honor to present to you Pa que tú lo sepas.
Hey, Senora Perez, can I talk to you for a second?
Senor Lopez, that's funny. I just finished grading your test paper from today. Excellent work as usual.
Thank you, but
And look what I've got.
It's the
The program for Friday's Hispanic Heritage event. Exciting, right?
yeah, it's
Look at the back. Read it.
Featuring student speaker Carmelo Lopez.
Yay, you made the program. Well, the principal was nervous at first about putting a student on the program, but I said, Principal what? Carmelo has always been my favorite, most hardworking student, and I have no doubt that he'll make me and the entire school proud.
You told him all that?
Of course I did. You deserve it.
Well, that's what I wanted to talk to
I'm so proud of you. I can't wait to hear what being a Latino means to you.
Senora Perez, I really need to talk to you.
Okay. What is it?
I'm not gonna write anything for Friday.
What do you mean?
Me, the speech Friday, it's not gonna happen. I'm not going.
Why wouldn't you? We're all excited to hear you speak. You can't bail on everyone. There's not a good look for you, Carmelo.
I know, it's just...
So what's the matter? I gave you the assignment over a month ago. Did you procrastinate?
What? No, when have you ever known me to procrastinate on anything?
It's just a question, mijo. No need to get defensive.
No, look, I haven't stopped thinking about this assignment since the moment you gave it to me, but no matter how long I think about it, I can't think of what it means to me to be Latino. I don't feel like I have a story to tell.
But you are Latino, Carmelo.
Yeah, in name, maybe. Other than that, nothing.
Carmelo, stop it.
Stop what?
Whatever it is you're doing right now, what you just said is ridiculous, and you know it.
Well, that's how I feel.
But you've always been my hardest working student.
Yeah, but that's just academics. Just because I can't get grades in Spanish doesn't mean I identify with the Latino culture. Besides, it's not like taking any of these classes have helped me become more fluent.
No se exagera.
I'm not exaggerating.
You understood me.
You tricked me.
But you still understood me.
Yeah, but that's just a phrase. Of course I know some of those. I know some that I can't even translate into English.
So do most other Latinos.
But you know that's not the point. I'm talking big picture here.
Big picture meaning what?
Big picture meaning that knowing little phrases in Spanish doesn't make me Latino.
Carmelo, what does being Latino look like to you?
I don't know. That's why I'm here.
Close your eyes and think.
But please, come on. Okay, fine.
Now, think.
Well, I can tell you what doesn't look like a Latino. Me.
Ay, Carmelo, por favor.
I'm serious. Listen to the way I talk. Watch the way I carry myself. Nothing about me says Latino.
Carmelo, that is not true.
Senora Perez, you don't know what I go through. You have no idea what it feels like to feel like some outsider wherever you go. I've never even been to Puerto Rico, Senora Perez. I don't know what coquis sound like. I don't know what El Yunque looks like. I don't know what the beaches feel like. Whenever a song in Spanish comes on, I can't help but get anxious because I have no idea what they're saying. I just mouth everything hoping no one notices.
Carmelo, I get it. Trust me, I do. And normally when a student comes to me saying they can't do something like this, I let them off easy because I can tell that they don't care. But you, however, care more than you know.
How would you know?
Because when I gave this assignment to you, you knew it was optional. You knew you could say no, but you didn't. Why?
I don't know.
You're not getting off that easy. Why didn't you say no?
I don't know.
Carmelo, the reason you didn't say no is the exact reason you're in front of me as we speak. Now look me in my eyes and tell me why you didn't say no.
Because I am Latino. But I don't feel like one. I mean, if you want me to be honest, I feel like some half-baked experiment. I hang out with my white friends and they tell me I'm too Spanish. And I hang out with my family. And I'm a gringo. So tell me, how am I supposed to talk about what it means to be Latino when all that question does is create more questions about who I am?
Can you guess where I was born?
I don't know. Once?
Nope. Buffalo, New York.
No way.
Yes. Right here in the west side of Buffalo. Now, do I look like a person from the States?
Not at all.
Exactly. And do you know why?
Why?
Because at some point, I realized that I needed to stop feeling sorry for myself. I needed to stop thinking I needed anyone's validation other than my own. I loved being Latino. I still do. And because of that love, I wear my pride on my sleeve. It didn't matter if I was born in the Holy Waterfall in Duke or if I was born in the States. My heart belongs to the island. I am Latino, and no one is going to take that from me. And eventually, I visited the island when I had the money. And I learned to speak Spanish when I was ready. It's why I became a teacher in the first place. Because I knew that there would be some poor kid out there who didn't feel Latino enough, just like me. And I swore to myself that I would be there for them to help them find their way. Carmelo, not feeling Latino enough is, in and of itself, a Latino story. ¿Entiendes?
Yeah, you're right.
Of course I am.
Yeah, I do.
And Camilo, maybe think about the little things you take for granted. I think that might be what you need to get you started.
Okay, I will.
Damas y caballeros, ladies and gentlemen, our keynote speaker of the evening, Mr. Carmelo Lopez.
"17 years of feeling out of place. 17 years of feeling half-baked. 17 years of not feeling Latino enough until someone finally dropped an H-bomb of knowledge and blew my mind. She said not feeling Latino enough is a Latino story. She was so right. But I invite you all to turn to page 1 of this book called My Story by Carmelo Lopez, because that was just the beginning of mine. I head home, not knowing where my Latino story might go. So deep in thought, the sways of my bus felt safe and secure and nostalgic. My mind travels to the past, to a place where I'm 4 years old and bawling my eyes out. That's when my mom swoops me up like a superhero and proceeds to make my tears disappear like some magic act she had performed 100 times before, swaying me back and forth, singing Puerto Rican hymns until I passed out. That's when it clicked. My eyes bust open as the euphoria of this epiphany rushes through my body like a shot of adrenaline. It all made sense. Latino is a feeling. All those years dreading the moment when my family broke out in song because I didn't understand the words and I was missing the point entirely. It was never about the words. It was about the feeling those songs created. As much as the words made me anxious, those songs never ceased to give me a sense of community and familia. I was always embarrassed that I never visited the island, but I realized I can reach that island whenever I want. I can close my eyes and I can hear the coquis around me. I can feel the sand between my toes. I can smell the fresh bread of the panaderia, and I can feel the rhythm and movement of my ancestors flow through me, wrap around my hips, and shoot out my arms and legs. And there it was. That sense of fulfillment that I searched tirelessly for my entire life. That sense of feeling whole that always seemed foreign to me. I felt Latino. No, I was Latino. I knew it deep down inside my heart. I felt it in the pit of my stomach, and I held on to that feeling like it was my newborn baby because no one was going to take that feeling away from me. Now, I carry that feeling wherever I go. I carry it with pride and confidence and love. Now, I can finally say, without any shred of doubt, yo soy boricua, pa' que tú lo sepas.
Done shortly. Wow, what a beautiful presentation that was. I was trying not to cry. Doesn't it make you just want to book a plane ticket and just head on out of here, back to the country of your parents' ancestry? I know I do. Well, I just want to make a few more acknowledgments. Jonathan Rivera, office from Erie County Executive Mark Polencars. Soon we will be calling the winners of the auctions. If you haven't yet, please make your way to see Eileen to put in a bid. If you want to see more of this positive representation of our rich Latino culture, just like we saw today with Raíces, please don't forget to participate in our wonderful raffles opportunities. We have awesome baskets, many donated from Goya. I know I want that olive oil right there. Art pieces from renowned local artists. And today our goal is $10,000. If you can find it in your hearts to reach for that center envelope, we would greatly appreciate your support. And thank you again to our signature sponsors, the gold sponsor, United Healthcare, silver sponsor, Healthcare Education Project, and our bronze sponsor, Fallon Health Weinberg. And if you haven't yet, please take a chance to visit our display of the Hispanic History Project in collaboration with the Buffalo and Erie County Public Library and History Museum. At this time, I will need the winners. Eileen, if you could please come up for the auction and raffles. Do we not have them? I don't know where she is. I apologize for the moment. Okay, she's on her way with her tacos. Thank you, Eileen.
Thank you. Okay, so thank you everyone that support our auction today. And the first piece is William Rios. And we have a bid of 200. Erika, if you're in the house, is the winner of that piece. Thank you for that. Second piece, William Rios is the artist. And I can't understand, they say Heida Colon? Haiti? Well, we have her email, so we'll email her. She have two pieces. Also Feng Shui, that is the umbrella that you see there by Asa Butler. Haiti. Cass, do you know who Haiti is? I have no idea, but we email her. And then phlebotomy, that is my piece, that's the big one. That piece, it is an acrylic piece made with acrylic painting in a canvas. That piece represents the strong women in our Hispanic Latino community. So we're gonna give a round of applause to our women in our community because we have that blood and strength in our inside. So that calls phlebotomy, and David Mauricio from the Education Department, he won that piece for $170. Thank you, Mauricio. Piece number 4, Amy Casillas, Luis Rodriguez, El Gallo. Thank you, Amy, $100 in that piece. And that concludes our auction today. If one of you have any question of our paintings, we also have reproductions from the originals. Thank you and have a beautiful day.
Thank you, Eileen, and we will be closing now. I want to truly say that it has been my pleasure to serve you as the Master of Ceremony today. Thank you for your support. Gracias por su apoyo. And we will be closing now with a message from our President, Cass Rodriguez.
Thank you, everyone. A couple of comments here. I'd like get a chance on your way out. Please take a look at the historical display out back. Parts of that will be incorporated in our Niagara corridor. Before I go on, I'd like to acknowledge in our booklet, there's a series of sponsors that have helped put together with their financial donations to be able to have this yearly event. And throughout the year, Take a look also at our table sponsors. I'm not going to mention them all, but all of these sponsors are very important to be able to roll out our mission for community. We also have a page there that articulates very well from our CPA, our financial status at the end of the year. You know, the council makes it a point to post this on our website so that everyone knows where their dollars are going. It's very important. I would also like to also acknowledge the program committee. Folks, I know everyone's aware that it takes a lot of hard work and effort to be able to put an event like this together. And let me tell you, this board of directors, we could never do what we do and do it well, because I tell them they do it well without this group of volunteers. They're more calm right now, so I'd like for them to stand up and give them a round of applause, our board of directors. Thank you. Esmeralda Sierra, our financial officer, she was very instrumental in putting this together, program, part of the program committee. Eileen Gonzalez, Dinora Santos, Maritza, Tamara, Amy, Michelle Agosto, which is not here. She helped. Samantha, appreciate all your help, Samantha, and wonderful job. Didn't she do a wonderful job as MC? And of course, John Sanabra. And our legal counsel, Arnie Zellman. Arnie, take a stand, Arnie. This is the backbone of our organization that keeps us on track. But before I close, I'd like to say a few comments regarding the project that we've undertaken on the Niagara Corridor, of which we know that it's the heart of our Latino community. And a lot of the plans that our organization is, with the support of the city of Buffalo, is putting together, and with our design architect, Scott Alexander Wood. Is he here? Please stand, Scott. Give him a round of applause. Also with the help of our Erie County Public Library, our Ann Conable, she's here. Stand, Ann. You know, we're going to change with all your help and the help of our partners. We're going to set the tone on the Niagara Corridor, something that we're going to be very proud of once it's all done. This is no fairy tale, folks. This is our history. And if we look around the entire city of Buffalo and all four corners, everyone is telling their story. In our community, we're going to tell our story. This council takes its job very seriously. The directors on this council, they're very passionate, they're dedicated. The work they do, their contributions, many of them got full-time jobs. Some of them are retired, but they're quite busy. And their passion is community. They bring a special token and expertise to this board of directors. And our community is going to look bigger and brighter. The other day I was at School 30 giving the commencement remarks to some 8th graders. Let me tell you, and what's coming up behind us are very energetic, very positive, very confident people. That's why this organization has taken and made a commitment the other day at the Buffalo School Board. And there were speakers there, Gino Russi. Gino, stand up. I like to name them, and I like for them to stand up. Gino Russi spoke. David Rodriguez spoke. Dr. Tamara Sase spoke. I spoke. Lucy Candelario spoke. And also behind the scenes, couldn't make it that day, David Caban helped us put together a real good package that was a result of 4 site visits to the Buffalo Public Schools that have the bilingual programs. And we made a commitment to the Buffalo School Board and the superintendent that the Latino leadership will make this part of our agenda. And that's because our future is as important as our past. So with that, I know everybody is antsy to depart and go on your merry ways to spend time with your family. From the bottom of our hearts and the heart of this council and every one of the directors in this organization, we'd like to thank you. Thank you for your support and the confidence that you've laid upon each and every one of us as an organization and as individuals to be able to move our Hispanic community here in Western New York forward. So with that, I conclude the program. Thank you.